want to welcome you to the Membership Sites Blueprint 3 program. In this module, we're going to be talking about getting started. We're going to talk about and have a look at proven continuity program models. Which one is going to be right for you? We're also going to be talking about front-end offers, which are proven to work and which strategy you should be adopting. But before we get into that, I'm going to say a few things. First of all, that's the fun stuff. That's the cool stuff. But before we get into that, we need to find out first whether your market lends itself into continuity, into membership. Because if we get this part wrong, the rest is not going to work. If we screw this part up and we find out down the road that the market doesn't lend itself into continuity, then it doesn't matter how good we are in marketing, it's not going to work. So I'm going to admit a few things. This is not the fun part. This is not the sexy part. I wish I could show you right now the amazing things, but it's no good to you if you don't get this part right. Okay, so bear with me for now, and we're going to go through this as quickly as possible, but this is way too important to pass up right now. Okay, so here's the truth. When it comes down to it all, not all market lends itself into membership. Okay, I've been to events, to seminars where speakers say you can do continuity in any membership site, in any market. But however, that's simply not the case. I know markets flat out don't lend itself to membership. I've made this mistake myself, and I found out myself that some require traits that you need to see in your market before you can feel confident and say, yes, my market does lend itself into continuity. And I compiled a checklist for you, and here they are. Okay, and so number one is need for ongoing support. And I think the key here is ongoing. Do you solve the problem one time and then you're done? Because if that's the case, then it's not going to lend itself very well into continuity. So you currently have a product in mind, and that product may not necessarily require ongoing support. I need you to take a step back and think about the product, because it needs to meet certain market requirements. Don't think about the product, think about the market. Does the market have the need for ongoing support? Because a continuity program, a membership site needs this. This is really critical, and I want you to make sure you can check this box right here. Okay, and number two is year-round sales. Now, year-round sales is a big one. I know some people have tried to build membership sites around seasonal stuff, and it doesn't work very well, because once the season is over, people aren't going to be interested in the product. Okay, so whatever membership site that you have, you want to make sure that it has year-round sales. If you're very passionate about snowboarding, you got to understand after winter, people aren't into that stuff, and that's not going to lend itself very well into a membership reoccurring site. Okay, so does that mean it's not a viable business? Well, it could be a viable business. It's just not viable for a membership site. Okay, so we want year-round sales. Okay, and the next one we have, are they reachable online? Okay, before you can check this big fat box here, you want to make sure you check a few things. You want to make sure that you check at least two of these three criteria right here. And the first one is, there any related non-continuity programs? Okay, that means whether if you sell a product or when other people sell products, you want to make sure that they're successfully selling products that has got a non-continuity or a one-off product. Okay, so at least you know that they are some way reachable online. Okay, and next we have existing continuity programs. Existing membership sites out there, even better than this, you want to find out if there is any competition or any existing membership sites to see if the market is interested in membership sites. Because these people have done all the hard work for you, they've done all the research. And at the same time, many people tell me, I don't want to go into a market that has existing competition, and I tell them the same thing. Now look, I'm going to show you in this training how to differentiate yourself, how to be better than your competition, and how to beat them at their own game. Even though there are many competition, but for now, the mindset which I want you to have is competition is a good thing, because they've done all the hard work for you. They've done all the research for you, and it goes to show that this market demands continuity, demands membership program. Okay, and finally we have existing forums and online magazines. And for me, I like to see if there's any existing forums or online magazines out there, because if they're out there, it gives us an immediate outlet on how we can pull people from these forums to come into our paid membership site. Okay, we're going to be talking about these when we get into member recruitment, member retention, product creation, and how we can use these existing forums and magazines to build content to attract customers into our site. And I really like these two, so you want to be able to check at least one of two criteria to see if they're reachable online, and if you can check all three, then you're golden, okay? So next we have rapid, impulsive, and desperate. When you want to ask whether your market is rapid, impulsive, or desperate, this is somewhat, it can be subjective, and I need you to take a good hard look and decide if your market, and decide whether if your market is rapid, impulsive, or desperate. I'll talk about the differences. Okay, the first is rapid market. Okay, it's in which we're like golfers. If you learn anything about golfers, you know that they are very rapid. They just buy, and they are rapid buyers, and at the same time, they're also very impulsive. So rapidity and impulsiveness, it goes hand in hand. Okay, what's even better than these two is being desperate. Now, if somebody's desperate enough for a solution, they're going to be paying for it, and that's a lot buying force than it is than just being rapid. Okay, so golfers, they are rapid, they are impulsive, but they're not desperate. They don't go to sleep at night thinking what's the next biggest thing is going to be. They're not staying up all night thinking about the next revolutionary thing in golfing. So that's the difference between rapid, impulsive, and desperate. And the market doesn't need to be desperate. I know many hobby markets out there, whether they are rapid, they are impulsive, but they are not desperate, and yet they are insanely profitable. Okay? And there are niches like World of Warcraft or Farmville. You know, these people are extremely rapid, extremely impulsive, but they're not desperate at all. So if we can come in and provide an immediate solution for them, then desperation done correctly, where you provide them the right solution. And there's nothing sneaky about this, by the way, and I want you to write this down. Please write this down. Desperation equals bonding, okay? Desperation equals bonding. That's right. If somebody has a problem and you help them alleviate that pain, they're going to be very grateful and they're going to bond to you. And bonding is one of the biggest aspects of a membership site. Because if they're not bonded to you, then they're not going to stick around. So desperation is not going to be in every market, and nor does it need to be in every market. But you don't need to be in a particular market where they are rapid, impulsive, and desperate. And only you will know whether your market is rapid, impulsive, or desperate. Okay, so you need to decide. Okay. So next we have reason to exist. This is something you want to be able to check, especially if you want to go into the publisher model, if you want to get another expert to do up the content for you. Okay, and I believe that whatever reason you have, you need to have a reason to exist in the marketplace. And I know many people say that you can't go into a market where you don't want anything and sell some crappy little ebook and sell it for profit. Well, maybe that has worked in the past in 2006 and 2008, but it doesn't really work anymore. And the bigger problem with that is it's not adding any real value to the marketplace. Okay, from a membership perspective, you cannot thrive in a marketplace unless you have a true reason to exist. So I want you to take a good hard look at your product, if you already have one now, or whatever you're planning to create. Ask yourself, is this product a need-to product, or is it going to enhance people's lives? Is it going to make it more convenient for other people? Is it going to add value? Is it interesting? Is it exciting to others? You know, if that's the case, you want to have a reason to exist. Now, I'm not saying you have to have something that's earth-shaking or groundbreaking, but you need something that provides a reason to exist. And so I like you to keep that in mind. And the reason I'm saying this from an overall business perspective, from a membership site perspective, if you do not have a reason to exist, then you're not going to last very long and your membership site is going to collapse. And trust me, whenever we talk about front-end offers and you start doing your initial marketing and you start putting people into the door, the worst thing that can happen after doing all that hard work, they come in and they stay for 1 to 2 months and they're gone because your content sucks. Now, of course, I'm hoping that's not the case. And that's why I need you to take a good hard look at what you're doing, especially if you're approaching from the publisher model's point of view, where you get people, where you get someone else to do the content for you. And finally, we have proven, next we have proven membership mentality. And what I mean by this is, do they have a proven membership mentality? The way I like to do it is to look at it. Is this how they identify themselves? Is this how they identify themselves? By the way, which we're going to be talking about a lot. It's a business to business type of models. Okay, so let's say you're at a party or a social gathering event, right? And you walk up to somebody and say, "Hi, my name is Mark," and "Hey, I'm John. So what do you do, Mark?" And probably that's the most common question people ask. What is it that you do for a living? And that's one of the way in which us as human beings identify ourselves. A lot of people identify themselves by their hobbies. I'm into World of Warcraft. That's who I am. I'm a gamer. If somebody identifies themselves as their hobbies, then you know that there's a proven membership mentality. Okay, so you want to be able to check that. Okay. Now, so anyways, so this wraps up the video, the checklist for having membership to doing the membership sites. Now, I'm not saying you have to have all these boxes checked. Well, at least have a good idea and at least have 3 to 4, so at least you've met the criteria of having a good membership site. Okay, I'll speak to you again in the next video.